안녕하세요. 한국경제신문 박신영 기자입니다. 저는 지금 뉴욕 양키스 스타디움 앞에 나와 있습니다. 제가 오늘 여기 나온 이유는 여기에서 오늘 대한항공과 델타항공의 조인트벤처 출범 5주년 기념식이 열릴 예정이기 때문입니다. 지금 함께 같이 가보시죠.
Both of your unwavering support and partnership with the organization.
저는 지금 뉴욕 양키스 스타디움에 들어와 있습니다. 보시면은 굉장히 멋진 광경이 펼쳐져 있어요. 경기가 있었다면 훨씬 더 좋았겠지만 오늘은 아쉽게도 경기가 없습니다. 특히 여러분들 제 뒤로 보이는 뷰를 보시면 알겠지만 여기 공간이 뭔가 심상치 않다는 건 느끼실 거예요. 여기는 이제 뉴욕 양키 스타디움 안에 델타 360이라는 공간이에요. 여기는 델타항공의 VIP 고객들을 모시는 장소입니다. 이유가 이제 VIP 고객들을 전략적으로 모셔서 이분들이 비즈니스석이나 그다음에 퍼스트 클래스석을 더 자주 이용할 수 있도록 하는 어떻게 보면 마케팅 차원의 공간인 거죠. 제가 여기 올 수 있었던 이유는 물론 제 개인 돈을 어마어마하게 쏟아부으면은 몇 달에 생활비를 포기하고 쏟아부으면 올 수도 있겠지만 초대를 받았어요. 국내 언론 중에서는 유일하게 초대를 받았고 오늘 행사는 델타항공과 대한항공의 조인트벤처 5주년 기념식입니다. 지금 델타항공의 미스터 스콧 조던 씨께서 나와서 이번 델타항공 이 장소의 의미와 이제 델타항공의 앞으로의 전략 등등을 설명해 주실 예정입니다. 한번 제가 질문을 드려볼게요. Nice to meet you.
Great meeting you.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting us.
Well, this is a great place to spend some time together.
Yes, and this place is very amazing. Yes. Could you explain the meaning of this place? Yes.
Well, we've started a partnership with the Yankees just over 10 years ago, and I think when you think about iconic brands and global brands, you think the New York Yankees. So we wanted to affiliate ourselves with someone that strong. So it started as a smaller partnership. It's obviously grown quite a bit. You're in the Delta 360 area where we've got everything branded cup holders, and inside we have televisions and signage. And it's just a reminder to New Yorkers that how embedded we are in the fabric of their lives, and the New York Yankees personify that. So it's really exciting to affiliate ourselves. And then a few years ago, we were able to put the Delta sign right across from the Yankee Stadium, and that's a pretty remarkable feat because that's the only signage in the stadium that is at the Yankee level. So I think it just shows kind of the global brand that we are working to become, and surrounding ourselves with great partners.
Specifically, who is this place for?
The Delta 360? Mm-hmm. So it's actually for ticket holders. So it's obviously it's fantastic branding for Delta, but the reality is every baseball game, it's for sale as it would be any other seat. The advantage that these ticket holders have is they have access to the Delta 360 Club. So it's free popcorn and soda, peanuts, like ballpark fare, and then a private space to cool off if it's warm or if it's a little drizzly out. You can be inside. So it really is, it's for the everyday customer, but again, it's a way that we'll be able to introduce our brand into those people's lives.
Do you often invite the VIP customer here?
We're privileged where we actually, for every game, we have a certain amount of seats here and a couple other spots around the stadium. So it is absolutely a way to entertain and engage, whether it be a corporate or an agency customer or a VIP influencer. We certainly want them to experience baseball at arguably one of the most famous ballparks.
As I know, these days, corporate customer has not recovered as much as before COVID pandemic.
Right.
So what kind of strategy do you have to recover their customer?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting because corporate travel has accelerated, especially in New York, where the last 4 to 6 weeks we've really seen a strong recovery with the New York corporate base, much higher than around the system. So now we're almost on par with everyone else. And it's really just reminding them the importance of travel. It's bringing people together, and the connections that you form in person, it can't be replicated through a Zoom. So it's educated, and it's just making sure that when people do travel, that they travel with Delta and they travel with our JV partners as the carrier of choice. And that's really what we're working hard, is to make sure people have choice in travel, and we want to make sure that they're always choosing Delta and our partners when they do.
Fortunately, most of demand for travel is these days exploding, right? And how much can you feel?
It's a fantastic problem to have. I mean, what a great opportunity, especially when you think about where we were just 2 years ago. So to see the demand that we're experiencing, we just announced second quarter earnings, and it was our most profitable quarter ever, which says something about the resiliency of demand. And that's something that we're seeing third quarter and beyond as well. And I think you saw a little bit of a shift during the pandemic, where people are choosing experiences versus goods and products, because again, they recognize that connecting and that human experience, that's really where they want to continue to invest. So we're incredibly bullish on travel, not just third quarter, but beyond.
But because of this exploding demand, pilots are insisting increasing their wage, and Delta decided to raise their wage at first in your industry. And how and why do you decide that?
Sure. Well, I think the reality is we've always put our people first, hands down. I think that is Delta's culture, and that has always been the case, and that is kind of our North Star going forward as well. But in March, we were able to ratify a new deal for our 15,000 pilots, where they're going to maintain industry-leading wages and really improving working conditions. And that was our objective all along. And the fantastic thing is, it's not just the pilots, but we've had the ability this year to invest in our ground staff, our scale employees, our merit employees, because the reality is, in that people-first culture, we have to take care of everyone. And we have a really simple expression at Delta, where if we take care of our own, if we take care of our employees, they're going to take care of the customers. The customers are going to want to fly Delta and our partners, and that's the return to shareholders. So it's really a virtuous circle that we're trying to build, and it's wonderful, because not only are we investing in wages, but we also have industry-leading profit sharing. And for the first 6 months of 2023, we've been able to hold $687 million in profit sharing that will be paid out next year, and that's on top of what we're going to be able to accrue in third quarter and fourth quarter. So I don't know if you have any upcoming trips, and every day our Delta team takes care of our passengers wonderfully well. But on February 14th, that is profit sharing day at Delta. So I ask you to fly that day, because they'll give you a little bit of extra love, extra attention, because they recognize that they have an influence in how people and why people choose to travel, that they're investing in the customers, and it gives them another reason to make sure that they're empowered to service them.
People around me highly recommend Delta in terms of good service. And what do you most attention to mid and long-term strategy?
Sure. I think that it comes down to a couple themes. I think the first is digital space, right? We have to be creative in that space. It's physical space. It's making sure that we're investing in our product, in the airports, in our fleet. And the final piece is globalization. So if you think digital space, it's making sure that our app, and it's industry leading, but continuing to invest in that. I don't know if you heard our news, but earlier this year we announced free Wi-Fi for all of our SkyMile members, which we'll be able to complete and deliver on by the end of next year. You think physical spaces, it's the airports. We've invested over $12 billion in our airports, and we're going to continue to invest. So that means a new terminal right here in New York at LaGuardia. It's $1.5 billion investment at JFK. It's a new terminal at Salt Lake and in Los Angeles. So our customers are seeing that. When you think about our fleet, we've taken delivery of over 200 new aircraft in the last couple of years, and that investment is going to continue. And what's great about the new aircraft is that it's also 20 to 25% more fuel efficient. So it's better for our economy. It helps our sustainability initiatives. And the final piece that we're focused on is globalization. And while we serve many destinations, what we do is we rely on our partners, which is so exciting to be celebrating 5 years with Korea today. Since the start of that joint venture 5 years ago, we've been able to service 7 million customers. Right? We transit over 2,000 people a day at Incheon, beyond Seoul. So it's a partnership that we can't do alone, and that's why we pride ourselves on surrounding ourselves with great partners who kind of embody that spirit of customer service and innovation.
And one more last question. Could you explain why you choose the Korean airline as a JV partner?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about the leading airline in the Trans-Pacific, you think Korea. And so it was very easy for us to align. And then you take a step back and realize that our values align, right? It's customer centric, it's employee centric. You realize that it's very easy to start talking about a relationship. And then as we implemented, we recognized that it's the same investment in technology, the same investment in facilities. And what we've been able to do from a connecting complex in Incheon, it's remarkable, right? We have 13 different destinations now in the U.S. that is able to flow traffic over Incheon, and it's not only a fantastic carrier, but it's the airport of choice. It's an amazing connecting complex. So you put that all together, and from a customer standpoint, it's really easy, and they're voting with their wallets, which is fantastic, right? We are the #1 Trans-Pacific joint venture, and we're going to continue to earn that and make sure that the customers understand that we will invest in them and make it as seamless as possible for traveling.
Okay. Thank you very much. 네, 지금까지 델타항공과 대한항공의 조인트벤처 5주년 기념식에 와서 여러 이야기를 전해드렸습니다. 사실 저희가 여기 온 것은 5주년 기념식도 궁금하지만 그보다는 델타항공, 글로벌 항공사의 앞으로의 전략, 그다음에 파일럿들에 대해서 어떻게 처우를 하고 그게 고객들에게 어떤 영향을 미칠지, 그다음에 또 앞으로 기업 고객들을 확보하기 위해서 어떤 노력을 기울이는지 그것이 궁금해서 온 것이고, 그런 내용이 여러분들께 잘 전달이 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 자, 여기까지 한국경제신문 박신영이었습니다.